Hey everyone, Clarkish Jai here, welcome back to another video. Today I am back and today I'll be talking to you guys as to why I think Sonic 4 will not be better than Sonic 3. Now, before everyone hates on me in the comments, I still think Sonic 4 will do well domestically at the box office, the sales, money, all that stuff. I think it will have a high chance to do better than Sonic 3 in terms of money sales and stuff. Why? Because each movie has done better than the other. Now, will it, it has potentially to do just as good as Sonic 3. Does it have a high chance to do better than Sonic 3? Yes, but in terms of like the story, the actual theme of the movie itself and what we've heard of in terms of leaks and rumors and stuff, it doesn't sound like it'll be better than Sonic 3. If anything, it just sounds like it will be on equal terms as Sonic 2, which isn't a bad thing as Sonic 2 is a good movie. And letting me know, all the movies are great, Sonic 1, 2 and 3, and they've gotten better over time, and Sonic 4 could definitely do the same. But again, I'll get into my reasons as to why I just don't think Sonic 4 will be better than Sonic 3 for the reasons I listed prior. Now, I will be mentioning some spoilers within this video. I know Sonic 3 has been out for a while, but I know a lot of people haven't seen it yet, so if you don't want to know anything Sonic 3 related, I recommend you click off this video right now. But aside from that, let's get right into it. So let's talk as to what Sonic 4 will involve. Now, for the end credits scene, we did see that Amy, Rose and Metal Sonic have been introduced, and Metal Sonic is going to be the main antagonist for the next movie, and Amy Rose will be the final team member to form Team Sonic, being Sonic, Tails, Knuckles and of course now Amy. And as you can see here, we have two pieces of concept art for what could have been the original end credit scene, where we see Eggman potentially alive or a potential different version of Eggman with Metal Sonic, and then of course you see Amy here battling a bunch of robots with Sonic lying on the ground with her original clothing on from the games. When I see that concept art, it reminds me of Sonic Forces. Now I know Sonic Forces' story wasn't good. I highly doubt they'll do a Sonic Forces story, so please do not worry. But I can genuinely see this being a sort of time travel thing. It looks like from what Amy was wearing in the end credit scene, she's travelled from the future, and Metal Sonic has too, just judging by their entrances. And maybe we'll have some like Terminator 2 type shit going on, where they travel back to the past to change the future, and that might potentially be what it's going for, as Eggman, as we knew it from the end scene of Sonic 3, he's gone, he's no longer alive. But for all I know, Shadow could have maybe saved him with Chaos Control, as we know Shadow is alive, but we'll get into that in a second. Or this is another version of Eggman from a different timeline or a different universe. We don't know what's going to happen, but time travel has been heavily leaked and rumoured for the next movie, so we'll need to see what that's about. Now, in terms of what game is inspiring Sonic 4, it is most likely 100% Sonic CD, which is the sequel to Sonic 3, the original game. And in that game, you basically had some classic stages, some new stages, and it was heavily implied that you had to save Amy from Metal Sonic and all that stuff. So that's probably what's going to be implied with. But then, of course, it might potentially be Sonic Heroes. But the only reason why I say that is because of Metal Sonic. If we're just facing Metal Sonic, like just in his base form, it'll be cool. Metal Sonic is definitely the right direction to go in for the next movie for the main antagonist. But I just would really like to see either, his second final form or his genuine final form that we see in both Shadow Generations and Sonic Heroes. I just think that would be hype as shit, and potentially see like a super form for Knuckles and Tails, especially seeing as they've lost the Chaos Emeralds. Like, that would be cool as shit. But again, seeing as they've lost the Chaos Emeralds, I highly doubt that will happen, but we'll just see how it is. Now, Sonic 4 could definitely be better than Sonic 3 because of the one and only Shadow the Hedgehog. I think me and a bunch of other people in the Sonic community can agree that Shadow, especially movie Shadow, was written great. Now, within the games, especially after Sonic Adventure 2, when we thought Shadow was gone, never to be seen again, he came back, Eggman saved him, and of course Shadow lost his memory and was trying to figure out who he was and stuff again. He then figured out that he saved the world, he was friends with Sonic to an extent, and then of course saved the planet from Black Doom. So I'm genuinely curious, at the end of Sonic 3, has he lost his memories? Is he going to go down this path? Or has he got his memories back and still intact, and is going to help Sonic and just be an anti-hero like he's always been? The answer is, we don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't want his memory to go away, because I am genuinely curious to see how movie Shadow will now proceed with his normal everyday life now, especially after the events of Sonic 3. Now being somewhat friends with Sonic, kind of like how he is in the games, or is he going to be buddy with Sonic 24/7, like how Sonic is with Knuckles and Tails, and maybe move in with him potentially? I highly doubt that will happen, because that's just not in Shadow's nature, and that's just not who his character's about. But I'm just genuinely curious, and going through that whole debacle with Shadow losing his memory and stuff, it wouldn't make sense, because again, who saved him? No one did. You see Shadow walking out on his own. So unless he just woke up, you know, from his deep slumber after taking down the Eclipse Cannon and pushing it away from Earth on his own and managed to get up on his 2 feet and just lost his memories, I don't know. We'll need to see. But I only say I highly doubt he lost his memories because, again, in the games, Eggman did save him. Now, again, the games and, of course, the movies themselves are not a one-on-one copy. They're inspired by the games, just changing stuff a little bit, you know? But we'll just see how it happens within Sonic 4. But I can say for a 90% guarantee, if Shadow's in for at least the majority of this movie and not just in 1 or 2 scenes, I could definitely see this movie being better than Sonic 3. Why? Because Shadow's been voted the most best character ever within Sonic history, so need I say less, Keanu? Please, give us peak Shadow in Sonic 4. Now, as for the reasons as to why I genuinely don't think Sonic 4 will be better than Sonic 3 is because, one, the story. The story in Sonic 3 was already phenomenal, with Shadow's character progression, and then of course his backstory, Eggman's character progression, along with Sonic's. It was great all around, and then of course the threat, the stakes that they were going against, and then of course basically everything that the 3 main characters have, Sonic, Shadow and Tails, Shadow has, but better. He has higher IQ than Tails, he's stronger than Shadow, he's on equal par as Sonic, you know, what can I say? But in general, I just don't think Sonic 4's story will be better than Sonic 3 because this movie's actually been leaked to somewhat be a rom-com. And now, from what it sounds like from the leaks, it sounds like the whole movie's going to be a rom-com. Now, I highly doubt that will happen, but it's to be expected. Why? Because Amy is the love interest of Sonic. There might be some 3 romance bits in the movie, but if it was for the whole entire movie, I genuinely don't think the movie will do that good. But you know, if the movie's just like is focused in terms of, you know, heavy story and heavy action like it was in the previous 3 movies, then I think it'll do fine. Of course, give us some rom-com scenes, you know, that's Amy's, you know, purpose within the games. She is the love interest of Sonic at the end of the day, you know, that's what she was labelled as when she was first introduced. So it's to be expected, but if they were to make like that whole thing, the whole rom-com thing into the whole movie, I just don't think it would do that good. Along with that, I highly doubt this is unlikely, but potentially no Shadow. I think Shadow will be in this movie, but I'm very worried as to how much of the movie he is in. I could genuinely see him being only in 1, 2 or maybe even 3 scenes, but if he's in the majority of the movie, I think the movie will do just as good as Sonic 3 or maybe even better. On top of that, maybe no Tails or Knuckles, which 99% will not happen. I think they definitely will be in the movie, but the reason why I say that is because, one, we didn't see them in the end credits scene, which actually holds no purpose, but you know, it's whatever. But the biggest one is that the fact that it has been heavily implied that time travel plays a big role in the scene. Again, like I mentioned at the start of the video, it seems like Mel Sonic comes from like somewhat of a Terminator 2 standpoint. You know, he's travelled from the future, he's now back in the past to stop Sonic, and Amy's followed him to actually stop that from happening, especially when there's multiple Metal Sonics. And the reason why we say time travel is because of this scene here. We see Eggman, most likely another version of Eggman, ruling the world. So honestly, we'll just see how it goes there. And you know, Tails and Knuckles, you know, I think Tails didn't play the biggest role within Sonic 3, he was just there for support, and of course Tails being Tails, he's a cool ass character. But along with that, he just didn't stand out a lot. The only thing I'd say Tails was really good for in that movie was, 1, the London hack where he hacked into gun systems, and 2, taking down the crab from Eggman's lab. But aside from that, Tails actually failed to save Sonic. He was passed out whilst trying to save him and throw a ring, and then Knuckles came in swinging, saving them in the end and actually helping them break out of Gun's headquarters. So honestly, Knuckles for the win. Tails, you needed more action, my man. I needed more Tails action. But aside from that, those are the reasons why I don't think Sonic 4 will be better than Sonic 3. Does it have a chance to be better than Sonic 3? 100%. But if anything, I can see it doing equally as good as Sonic 2, which is totally fine. But in terms of like, you know, money, sales, domestic box office, all that stuff, I can definitely see it being better than Sonic 3 or just as equal as Sonic 3. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below, do you guys think Sonic 4 will be better than Sonic 3, or do you guys think Sonic 3 will reign supreme over all the 4 movies when it releases in 2027? But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you within the next video or live stream. And goodbye!